if you can tell us how you got started in commercial real estate and why. And then second part of the question is, when did you realize that your mindset was either your biggest asset or your biggest obstacle in business, and what shifted for you?
Yes, so I think many of us here are entrepreneurs. I realized I was an entrepreneur since I was a child. I was that child selling candies at my house and at school. And I think every entrepreneur here has some type of story when they were a child. We were selling things, right? And I realized at an early age that I liked sales, but I had a mentor during college that would tell me that I could be in sales, but I needed to look into higher ticket items. And I started looking into what is a higher ticket item. And I did a lot of research on my end on what can I sell that will make me a lot of money, and turns out it was commercial real estate. And it's as easy as just getting a real estate license. It's not anything different. It's just taking a different path, learning how to underwrite deals. It's more analytical. And I realized, wait, that's easy. So it wouldn't be hard for me. But the idea of being in commercial real estate actually started one day after I hated my 2 corporate internships in college. I realized I wasn't meant to do a job, be in a job W-2 employee. I just knew right away that wasn't my life. I worked for Walt Disney and I worked for LA Galaxy, and they were very strict on checking in, coming in on time. If you're late, you get 3 strikes. And I just thought, I can't live a life like this. You can't move freely. So right away I knew after college I needed to pivot and get into sales. I got my real estate license and I started looking on Google, like just researching random things like what do successful people in LA have in common? And I went so deep that I went to a deep rabbit hole, and I went to USC alumni's book and I just started researching everybody, and I realized that everybody comes from a real estate development background. And that's when I knew, okay, commercial real estate is that's where I need to end up, in commercial real estate. So if you're one of those people who get stuck into deep rabbit holes, it might serve you good.
Perfect, thank you. And it's a male-dominated field, right? Mm-hmm. We should say that. And there's not a lot of people of color in commercial real estate as well, especially in Los Angeles, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Evelyn's made big waves since she's been in commercial real estate.
But when I joined my brokerage, I didn't know that was a statistics. I didn't know that there weren't women in commercial. I didn't have those thoughts following me when I made that decision. It wasn't until I actually went into commercial and I realized, wow, nobody speaks Spanish. Oh, there's no Latino. There aren't enough Latino representatives on the 1031 exchanges. Then I started realizing, but I think that helped me become so confident in my field because I didn't let those negative thoughts shape me. Oh, I'm a woman. Oh, I speak Spanish. Oh, I'm a minority. I didn't let those negative thoughts follow me, which I think allowed me to move with confidence.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, you're big on personal accountability. Your famous quote, Evelyn tells everybody, how you do one thing is how you do all things. What does true accountability look like for a woman building a business when no one is watching?
So for myself, I believe that success looks different on everybody. So your success can look so much different than your neighbor, however. But once you have a picture of what your success looks like, whether that's waking up early, doing this, doing that, having your agenda, it's sticking to your plan and sticking to your goal. Because you can say you wake up at 5, you can say you do this, you hit your calls, but who are you lying? You're only lying to yourself if you're not actually doing them behind closed doors. So I have my own agenda, and I'm really, really loyal to my agenda. I make sure I do my calls, I do my follow-ups, I hit my appointments per week, per month, and I have goals. But these goals are my own goals that I have to hit. And I think it's more of a personal choice being so committed and loyal to your goals when people are watching or not watching. It's really on you, because at the end of the day, you're only going to lie to yourself. You can lie to people, but then once you're home, you lied to yourself. You didn't hit those goals.
Yes, got it.
To get to the next level.
Got it. And this is the kind of we'll talk about our proximity and the environments that you're in shortly. But so I attended church on the beach with Evelyn and Erlinda here on Sunday, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful service. You're on the beach, literally. And then the things that we discussed and then we had brunch after, and the things we discussed were committing to do a half marathon, new business ideas, and so these are the types of conversations that we're having. And so I had committed to do a half marathon and shared it with her, and so she committed without me having to even ask her to commit. And then that was Sunday. First thing Monday morning, like at 6 a.m., she was like, "How many miles have you done yet?" I'm at the track already doing miles, and that's who she is. So Monday evening, Tuesday morning, she's on me. So it's that kind of influence is important.
Yeah, and I think.
Sorry, I want to mic you up because.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Excuse me.
For me, I'm very selective with who I hang out with, who my friends are, who I call my friends. And if you see my friends, I've chosen them for a reason. They're not just my friends to waste my time. I see something in each one of them that inspire me. And I know the more I hang out with this person, it's going to rub off on me. And I could say the same thing for Rose. Like, I see how she is. She has so much structure. The way she's a mother, right? Like, just that alone, being a businesswoman, the mother who she is, she's so present, yet so present. Like, she's very present in all aspects of her life, and I see that. So someone like that, I feel that I want to be around them more. And so when Rose told me, oh, I want to do a half marathon, I jumped on it and I said, well, I'm going to do it with you because I know you're going to do it, and I know you will do it, because there's a lot of people who can say they're going to do something and they don't do it, right? They don't show up, or they're just all talk. And my friends are not all talk. So I jumped on it and I said, let's do it together. But you did tell the wrong person your goals, because you tell me your goal, I'm gonna hold you accountable. And I won't stop.
She did, but it's good because it does hold me accountable, and it's inspiring too. It's encouraging. I don't want to let her down, So yeah, so we're doing the half marathon in October. Okay, this one is important to me, and I want to get your perspective on it. And it's important to me because I'm in 16 years in this business, right? And it passed by in a blink of an eye. But I'm proud of being in it 16 years and not changing course. And when the economy changed, and we've been through 3 or 4 different administrations and tax law changes and COVID, but I know that I am where I'm at now because of my consistency. Like, I never wavered on what I was doing. So I'd like to get your perspective on what percentage of a person's success would you attribute to their consistency and persistence?
100%. You have to put in 100% in everything, in all aspects of your life. The way you do one thing is how you do everything. The way you show up for your husband, partner, friend, your business partner, it all translates, and it all just, it's all like the same. So if you're putting in 100% effort in your new dating life, right? Put that same amount of energy into your business. Like, putting in the same amount of effort will get you farther in all aspects of your life, but being very consistent to your goals. Like, I'm gonna jump to the other question that you talked, like, that you have there. Being consistent as in, what does your whole year look like? Plan out your whole year, plan out your agenda. What are your big goals for that year? How can you divide them quarterly, monthly, weekly, and how consistent can you be for those goals? It can be as little as, I want to take an exam, right? If you're studying for a bar exam or your life insurance exam, if you want to keep up with life insurance, like everybody, or any exam. When do you want to take that exam? How often should you study? How much time should you be putting in weekly, monthly? Like, everything needs to be really written out from minutes to hours and be consistent to that.
Got it. Yes.
But from 16 years to, like, what has helped you?
I think just staying the course. So
just
not
staying in
the
this
course.
Yeah.
Like not wavering, not like, oh, this looks like a better opportunity over here. Let me go try this out. Like I stayed true to it. I made a commitment to start the business, and when things were rough or there was a change in policy or whatever that looked like, I stayed the course. I didn't change it because there was another opportunity or the grass was greener somewhere else.
Yeah, well, I think I've been very disciplined to say no to other opportunities where people say, oh, do this, do that with me. And I think, no, like, this is my long-term career. My career is commercial real estate, and I have to stay committed. And now after having a baby, I'm even more committed to my goals because my time is so limited that I can't commit to things that are not aligned with commercial real estate, investing, flipping, all of that. It has to really be aligned. If I'm going to this event, it has to be aligned. If I say yes to dinner plans, that table of women has to be aligned with my conversations. Like, how can we help each other? So it's more of, even as a simple, let's have lunch. Well, who am I going to lunch with? What are we going to talk about?
Yeah, yep, I love it. Let's talk a little about that. So Evelyn has a beautiful son. He's 7 months old?
9.
9 months old. So how has that changed? How has that changed for you?
My schedule doesn't look anything like before. I was so strict on waking up years at 4:35. I was that person waiting outside the gym, waiting for everybody to open the door. Like, that was just me because I wanted to be at the office at 8 a.m., wouldn't come home till 7, 8 p.m. I was calling appointments, doing everything. But now with the baby, I've had to accept that I can't live that 4 a.m. life anymore. So I had to switch things up. I still go to the gym, but it's at 4 p.m. now. It's where it makes sense, where he's napping. But I've realized as long as I'm committed still to all my goals and my agenda and I'm still hitting my goals, that's all that matters. I stopped beating myself up for it. It was a hard pill to swallow, not following my strict schedule, but accepting and telling myself, as long as you complete what you need to do, that's all that matters. And even if it means completing some task at 11 at night or 5 in the morning, like, I'm that person who will send you your emails at like midnight because I'm still working, or I'll wake up super early and I'll send it, but I'm still very committed to my agenda.
Got it.
Having a baby is not an excuse, and I think that's where a lot of mothers go wrong. They use the baby as an excuse, and can't let that be an excuse.
No, I get that. Before I started the tax firm, I was doing contract paralegal work too. Gwendolyn, she's 14. Also, I already had the business. I was doing contract paralegal work, and I would share with the attorneys that I was doing a contract because I had a baby. I had young children at home, and I was doing that. And being transparent with them worked out great for everybody. I had attorneys dropping off files at my house, dropping off files at the baseball field because I was at practice with my son. They were paying me contract. They knew I would get and I got the work done. So once they handed me a file, they knew that I was going to get done. But I was transparent with them and told them that this is my priority. I'll take care of it. Everything was always filed on time. But it wasn't an excuse. It was, if anything, it was more of a motivation of like, how can I make this work around their schedule so I can still be present with them and still earn income?
Yeah, learning how to work around it.
Correct.
Being more creative on how to solve the problem. Like, you have to be very solution oriented because when you want something, it's always a solution. It's not an excuse.
Yes.
Being transparent, right?
Yeah.
And everything. It definitely shifted my business. So it's like, this is my schedule now. And these are the days that I'm going to be a lot more available to talk to you. Whereas these days I might not be as available. So I don't know. It's just, I think my clients really appreciate transparency.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, we touched on this a little bit, but okay, so we're both firm believers in the power of proximity. So how has being in the right rooms and around the right people changed the trajectory of your career and opportunities? And part 2, which I think is an important question, can you explain to the audience how you go about identifying those right people and the right rooms, and how do you get yourself near those people and in those rooms?
Yes, so before I go to an event, or if I go anywhere, again, a lunch or dinner, I have an intention. I set the intentions. I find out, like, why am I going? What do I need? What can I offer? I try to really, maybe I'm just too analytical, but I really think of these things and for example, I went to this, when we had a NAREP event, if you guys know NAREP, the National Association of Hispanic Realtors. There's this event, and I thought, okay, how can I be intentional? Okay, I'm going with the intention to find a buyer for my listing. That was my intention. I go and meet people, and I find out, do you buy? What are you doing? Are you selling? Blah, 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 blah. I found my buyer there. So I started moving with intentions, because when you move like that, with purpose, whatever you want, the universe, God will respond back to you and will give you what you're asking for. So everywhere I go, I try to have just an end goal. And if there's someone I want to meet, like a specific person, I find out, are they at an event? Are they going to be at a specific place? And I go to that place specifically only to meet that person and have a conversation and shake their hand. I go with, I've met partners for flips through just going to networking events, because I'm hunting them down. Like, I know they're gonna be at an event, and I already know, like, this is a person I wanna work with, this is a person that I need to meet, and I go, and because of those handshakes, I have gotten farther in life, because I go with intentions. Don't be shy, don't be that person. No, don't. Shyness won't get you anywhere.
Yeah, and I think asking for introductions is important too, and or like identifying who we can introduce. Like, there's several people, when I think of you, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to introduce her to them, and vice versa. Like, if I know that people in my sphere can potentially do business or may complement each other in some way, like, I think it's important to connect those people as well, to make those connections.
I think you guys should all do that today. If there's someone you want to meet, something you need, ask around the room, like, hey, I'm looking for this. Be open about it. You'd be surprised how people will connect you with that person. Go, okay, I know someone, here you go.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see. This one is important to me as I've matured in the business, and I wanted to get your insight on it. I tend to be now, because the way we run the tax office, we're very structured and rigid when it comes to our engagements. So when we get into even a simple tax return, we have a formal engagement letter, and it goes out at a certain time, and it needs to be signed, and it explains the scope of, this is a turnaround time, this is your responsibilities, this is how you pay us, this is when you pay us. That's important to me, because it makes the experience for everybody involved more pleasant and more streamlined, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how we run our business. So I've become more rigid these last couple of years, and that's how I expect to do business with other people too. So when we get, for example, with our awesome videographer here and their firm, which we're gonna announce them as well too. But when we got into an engagement with them, we had a great consult, and then moved forward, and it was like, well, I want a formal engagement letter. I want to know, I want to understand the scope. That's how I do business with everybody now. Like, I want to understand the scope, so I have a clear understanding of what your responsibilities are, mine are, when is payment due, how is payment rendered. So that's how I guess you would call it rigid, because, and before I do business with anyone, I'll tell them that, like, hey, this is, when we're talking business, this is how I want it, this is what I expect.
Yeah.
These are my expectations. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so that's another reason why I'm a fan of yours, because you're very structured and we're the same way. You may be a little bit more structured than me, but I want to be that structured, right? So you have something that I really admire, and I think I've learned very early that I can't do every role. I've accepted it. I'm not that person that's like, I got to do it all. I know some stuff I can't do, like in projects. I know where my specialty is. I get the deal. I underwrite it. But once we close, it's a whole team that does the whole budgeting, construction, designing, everything. And I don't step in because I know it's not my role. So just knowing what your role is and identifying people that complement your skills and adding them to your circle or to your project, to your business, will get you farther, and it's less stressing. I do need help with bookkeeping, so you guys are hired. I thought I could do it all, right? I think every business owner starts off with saying, I can do it. But then they realize, I can't do this. Once you start scaling, you're like, I can't do this, I can't. Am I right or am I wrong? Right?
No, you're right.
So I'm outsourcing that.
Perfect. Okay, let's see. For the moms and entrepreneurs in this room who know they're capable of more but struggle with self-doubt or fear, what's one standard they need to start holding themselves to today?
Okay, so what she said, that's the problem. Being shy and having fear is what's stopping you from getting to the next level. I can tell you, I don't know what fear is because I got rid of it at an early age. I think it had a lot to do with my mom. The way she raised me, she would always say, vergüenza es robar, right? Like, and that made me realize like, oh, you're right. I'm not robbing, so why am I feeling like this, right? And she's like she would tell me these things where I'm just like, oh, that's true. Like, there's no reason for me to have this fear. So having fear and self-doubt, that has to go. You're stopping yourself from becoming the ultimate best version of yourself. Your highest self is when you overcome those negative feelings. And you could be shy, as simple as like going to a networking event and trying to meet people, right? You're scared. What are you scared of? What if that person is the next person that's going to open up the next door? So just start working on getting rid of all that negative energy that is giving you these negative thoughts. I think I've worked really hard to not think like that, and I just move so confident that I know there's nothing to be scared of. And if you want to know more, I'd be happy to talk to you afterwards, but I'm really good at just mastering my thoughts, that I don't doubt myself in anything.
Got it. I think when I start feeling intimidated too, I read this quote years ago, and it was walk in the room like God sent you in there. So whenever I start feeling intimidated, I tell my kids to think like that. Or if I have a friend that's going to do a big project or anything, or like walk in that room like God sent you in there. Because He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
God sent us all here today.
All right, let's see. And guys, if you guys have any questions, we'll open up the floor right now too. But for our closer, unless Evelyn has anything to add, what advice would you give to the women who want access to bigger opportunities but don't know how to get into the right rooms?
So what I did when I thought of this question years ago, how can I be that person? How can I be that person in real estate? Because I wanted to be this person. I wanted to be someone who sold bigger buildings, right? Apartment buildings, someone who handled her own deals, someone who did this. And I wrote down a plan of who I want to be. And then I thought of 3 people that reminded me of that person. And I went out and I made contacts with them, right? And I actually did end up working with some of them. But think of who you want to be, who you want to become, what 3 people remind you of that role, and go and meet them and say, hey, how did you do it? Do you have any advice? You have to start connecting with these people in real life so you see and you learn from them. You're going to take stuff you don't like from them and things that are not working from them and things that are working for them. But then you start tweaking yourself up to be that person you aspire to be. But it's not going to happen if you're not putting yourself out there to meet people.
Got it. Yeah, I agree. All right, any questions from the audience? About commercial real estate too. Evelyn's great at underwriting commercial deals and has a lot of experience there. So any questions on investments or anything for Evelyn?
Buying businesses and buying and selling businesses, is that?
No, I don't sell businesses. I sell the building. So I'll sell a retail center with offices, apartments. I'll sell the land and the real estate, not the business. I think it's a contract between like a business owner and another owner.
Mm-hmm. Question?
What percentage do you need down to say you want to purchase an apartment right now?
Apartment 5+, you're looking at 45% of a down payment, but it depends on your goal. Like, are you trying to buy a distressed building where you come in and renovate it? Because you can buy it as little as 10% with a bridge loan, hard money. But if you're looking for long term, then it would be 45% down. But you could also do an exchange if you want to sell a condo you have or any rental home property that you own. You could sell that and move the funds to buy a bigger building. So it's called a 1031 exchange. So for anybody who's sitting on rental homes and you want to buy bigger buildings, get an analysis on your property and see what it's worth, and you might have enough money to buy a 5-10 unit building and make more money. Because a home, let's just say for example, you have a home in West Covina that's worth $1 million and your tenant is paying you $3,500, right? So you sell it and you move all those funds to buy an 8 unit, and now this 8 unit monthly is bringing in maybe $16,000 a month, right? So a lot of people don't see this. A lot of people are not educated to know that you can actually make more money by just exchanging your current condo, house, piece of land, whatever type of real estate it is, sell it or refinance your home, whatever, and buy an apartment building and make a bigger return.
Can you explain the difference in cost between having a couple doors as single-family homes as opposed to having one single building with multiple units?
Yes, so let's say you own 6 homes in Bakersfield. And you have 6 tenants, and they're all paying $1,200 a month, right? 6 of them. That's about $7,000 a month. And you want to do an exchange. So let's say so with the Bakersfield homes, you're looking at 6 insurance policies, 6 different tax bills, six bills, right? Like you're looking at 6 of everything. But if you exchange and you buy a bigger building with 10, 20 units, you're just looking at 1 tax bill, 1 insurance. Your cost is lower. Is that the cost? So your cost is much lower, less headache. If you have a manager, it's less of a management fee. It's easier to just have everything under one bell than in multiple different, all scattered. Because let's say you have the 6 homes in Bakersfield and half of them decide to move out. So now you're stuck with those 3 existing insurance bill, taxes, and how are you going to cover that if you don't have a tenant? But if you have a building and half of them are gone, you're still bringing in income to cover that 1 bill of taxes and insurance. But I would be more than happy to give you guys a free analysis on any building you guys are thinking about possibly doing exchange. Is it possible? Do you have enough equity? And I can show you. You can even buy, if you have a house or a condo, like I can even show you, let's buy you a 3-4 unit. You only need 20% down. Maybe we can buy in areas where you can do short-term rentals. You can do Airbnbs. I'm very familiar with the whole Airbnb process. So if it's something you want to start doing, we can start looking for homes or units in areas where you can maximize your Airbnb.
All right, any other questions?
Regarding mindset, any book suggestions?
Yes, so the top 3 books that shaped me beginning of my real estate career were the 2 MS Grover books that I still constantly listen to on audio, Winning and Relentless, those 2, and the Compound Effect. Those 3 really changed my mind. I think I had a different mindset before reading them, and then everything just made sense. Because all those 3 books, it's all about repetition, repetition, repetition. And just knowing that the more you repeat your habits, the bigger the result. So if you're not repeating what you're doing, you're not going to see results. It's all repetition until the day you die.
Got it. And how important would you say is like constantly and continuing to learn?
Yeah, all the time. And I think the more you scale and the higher the income you make, you'll be able to start investing in yourself in different ways that you couldn't when you first started. Like I think in the very beginning, you want to invest in yourself, start going to networking events, go to these small events where they charge. But once you start making money, start investing bigger in yourself. Like right now, my biggest investment that I committed to was getting my master's at USC. Like that's my biggest investment. Why? Because now I can actually afford it and I can make all these connections, bigger opportunities, just being in the right rooms, having that Trojan alumni, like it's huge. But I wouldn't be able to do that if I wasn't so consistent with my habits, because my habits, psycho habits that I'm just nonstop has led me to this point where honestly, like, it feels good to know, wow, like I'm doing this for myself. It's not my parents. It's literally me, my heart, sweat, equity, investing into myself.
Got it. All right, Evelyn, thank you. Does anybody have any other questions before we wrap it up for tonight?
Did you just label yourself psychohabits, or did someone else put that on you?
No, I just know my habits are not normal. Like, I just started working with my friend Linda, and I think she mentioned something the other day where she's like, working with her is like different. It's not.
So, I mean, like, you know, there's difference between commercial selling and there's difference between residential selling, right? And also I got to understand the way that she works, right? And it's different, and this is the reason why she's so successful, because she's like on it. Like, it's not, like she said, it's not normal. She's very much like if you tell her, oh, okay, it's gonna get done in 10 minutes. Minute 9, where is it at?
Like, I need an update.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I think, because she's very much like her, not only as working with her, but as her friend, she helps everybody, us around her, level up, because we know Evelyn's gonna do this. Like, we're friends in other ways as well. So like all the other group of friends that we're in, we know that Evelyn's gonna keep us on track. So it's always really good to have somebody around that is like that, because as being an entrepreneur, again, because we make our own schedule, we do what we want, it is very easy to stay off track. So you have to surround yourself with people like that. But it's all good things. It's not like, oh my gosh, she's awful. No, it's in the biggest way, and I think also she's very, very fair, and she understands like the situation. She's not like, I told you yesterday, she'll start yelling at you, or she'll beat you, or whatever. No, it's very stern, and then, you know, as long as you get it done, then she's good. Oh.
It's just structure and accountability, and I think someone always has to hold that level. Like, I'm sure that's you, right? Like, in your line of work, business, like, you have that structure, because the moment you let go of it, everything else just starts crumbling, in a sense where timelines are not met. You know, you have contingencies due, you have timelines, and sometimes timelines can cost you money. Holding costs, especially when you have a hard money loan on your flip, and then you want to exit out in 2 months because it's a $10,000 monthly payment. You realize, like, no, like, we got to move and push. We're not here to sing kumbaya. We're here to make money.
So get you paid. Out of this transaction, her and I have made so many hashtags for our life.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, working with me is actually fun. Like, I make sure it's fun. Like, you know, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, you guys.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you can be that person to have that role, but also if you know you're that person that comes with bad intentions and is not thoughtful, you know, you're not mindful of people, then that's where it's toxic. That's where you hear people say, oh, working with that person was like a nightmare. Obviously, that's not what I want. I just know that I can hold people accountable, and I know I'm good at it, so I roll with it. Like, every day I'm showing you my miles. You know, I just like say it so nice, like, just did my miles. You know, it's on her. She wants to do her miles, but I did mine.
And I think that's the biggest difference when you say, because, like, yes, I think to the person that doesn't know you, they can take it like, oh, you're a bitch, right? Like, that's the first thing that they say when women. It's stupid. But anyways, but knowing, that's also a character of being an entrepreneur, knowing somebody's character and knowing that they don't come from a negative place, or learning, okay, she said that, but she didn't say it personally to me. It's about the business, it's about getting this going. It's not because she's attacking me. So it's also building that character when you work, not necessarily just with her, but with any other person. It's really learning who you're working, what type of personality they have, and it just helps you with your business a lot more. Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways you can work with me. You can bring me a deal. You can be partners on my deals. If you're interested to know more, I'd be more than happy to share with you guys like what I'm working on.
Absolutely, and she always has multiple projects going on too, so yeah, ask her questions, work with her, she's great. She's good, she'll hold you to a very high standard.
If you want to do the half marathon with us, you can commit now. You can commit now.
Hey, I didn't hear that during brunch time.
But that's the thing, you want to be around people that will like set the bar high, right? Like imagine at least you can live a life and die peacefully and say, wow, I ran a half marathon. Like, shout out to Rose and Evelyn. You know, like, wow.
How many miles are you guys doing a day right now? Or a week?
For me, it's 20 miles a week. And
So I haven't ran in a couple years, so I have a 5-month schedule, so this week is 6.5 miles for me.
Wow, that's really good.
Total in the week?
For the week, 6.5.
telling her she needs 20.
She runs all the time. I need to ease my way.
Do you want to
into it.
run?
Oh!
You can do the Spartan race with my brother and my sister-in-law, but something came up for work, so we're not gonna do that after all. But I have a goal weight, and I did want to do something that would challenge me. That is scary.
Do the half marathon with us. We have 5 months. It's in October.
I know, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have a schedule for you.
It's not scary.
We're gonna do it.
Better information.
But I think too, I had just come to this realization recently that working with people that you want to work with too is like really important to me too. Like I previously had extended a lot of professional courtesies to people who had like bad business tact or were not professional, didn't meet deadlines. And like I've worked really hard, I'm not doing that anymore. Like I think it's important for us to work to a place where we're only working with people like at our caliber and our level. Like
Yeah.
it's not fair to us professionally to lower our standards. To
Yes.
work with people who don't respect our time, don't respect our professionalism, our skill, and that weeds out a lot of like bad deals and wasted time. So I think that's important to like always lead with that too. And you can tell immediately by the way somebody talks. You know what I mean? Like if there's excuses or if they're blaming people, you can tell immediately like what kind of, how they're probably gonna execute that deal with you. So I think that's,
I have 2 rules now. If I do any type of partnership with anybody, I'm interviewing 3 of the last people they worked with, and I'm very honest with people. And I did interview someone, and everybody said don't do it with someone. But it saved me time and money, right? And I'm taking it so far now that I'm going on Google and I'm putting their full name versus, I'm literally putting their name, blah, 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 versus lawsuits, Los Angeles. Like I need to see if they have lawsuits because again, like I've built myself to a level where I just can't take liabilities. So I hope if this helps you guys, you know, working for someone or working with someone, Google them.
yeah.
Lawsuits,
Yeah.
it's free. It's free.
All right, any other questions? Okay, well, we're here, so ask any questions you want. Evelyn's been a great resource for me. She's currently looking for a duplex for me in the city of Whittier. And when she started looking, or when we talked about it maybe like 2 weeks ago, she looked it up immediately. Like within 10 minutes, she had sent me all the listings. There's only 4 in the city. And she was like, don't worry, I have the list of every owner in the city that owns a multi-unit. I'm gonna call each and every one of them. So like, I know that that's getting done right now.
I was being serious too.
I know
I'm
she
calling
was.
them. I'm gonna call each and every one of them.
So that's the kind of friends and like, I
bet you
know
don't hear
she's
that
doing it.
from your realtors, right?
But we'll be here, so make sure to ask questions. And then everybody here, please exchange information as well, please. All right. Thank you, Evelyn.
Y comienza la fiesta.